And we're back for turn 4, Stormers. So, first thing we have to do, which I forgot last time, is remember that Skids actually picked up a Frozen in Fear last time, which I forgot to try and get rid of at the end of his last turn. So we'll immediately try to do that now before we move into turn 4. So we need to, at the end of your turn, test Willpower 3. If you succeed, discard Frozen in Fear. Now, Willpower for Skids is 3. What I will do, I'm going to commit Unexpected Courage, which allows us to add another 2 to that, because it's the question marks, so that means we can use that for anything. So I will commit that to that. And let's see where we go now. I've put these in a bag, so because they were making a hell of a lot of noise in the. Now I've put the coin protectors on. They make a lot of noise inside that little tin pot. So 5, 3. See what I've got? 0. Okay, so we've got a success, which is perfect. So we discard. The Unexpected Courage, and Frozen in Fear also is discarded. And that moves us now on to turn 4. So we'll go to turn 4 now. Unfortunately, the first thing we have to do is not one of those. The first thing we need to do is replace a Doom onto the agenda, which takes us to 3. So we do advance the agenda to 1A. So let's have a look. Can I get that focused? Yes. The sound of the wind suddenly rises, carrying with it the sounds of shrieks and screams, unnaturally loud and alien. Something is approaching. Shuffle the Ghoul encounter set into the remaining encounter cards. Okay. So we discard that. I have to somehow now. What did I do with? Okay. So the Ghoul. Come on. Okay. So there's the Ghoul. I have to shuffle those in. Oh, that's a crypt. No, hold on. Make sure I've got the. That's everything there. So now I have to shuffle these into this. So I will, unfortunately, I'll just pause a second because I want to do a good job of shuffling. So give me a sec. Sorry about that. Okay, we're back again. I've done a good shuffle there. Normally, you know, I'd shuffle in between turns, but because we're going to be drawing from this deck any second, I want to make a good job of shuffling. I don't want to be do a half-arsed job of it. So now we move on to agenda. Oh, there is only 2 agendas. Oof, okay. Let's see. As you continue to follow the trail, you catch half-hidden glimpses of shadowy figures in the fog. Their movements seem disjointed and wrong, and you begin to suspect that they may not be entirely human. And that's called Hunted. And, oh no, there's not. Okay, there's an agenda 3 as well. I missed that there. I would advise actually, if you get a chance to pick up some of these game stacks for the cards, they're pretty good. I only got my girlfriend to bring 3 with her, but I actually got this is from 1 pack. I've actually got 5 packs, so I wish she'd bought more now, but that was my fault because I didn't ask her to, so no point complaining. So we have the Doom is done. And we're on to agenda 2, Hunted. And so we we continue the Mythos phase by drawing 1 card for each of our investigators. The first one is Grasping Hands for Skids. Test agility. For each point you fail by, take 1 damage. Okay. This we can do easy enough. We can do this now. Well, we know Skids' agility is 4, so we're 1 up already. I don't think we'll commit anything to that. I think we'll just take the risk and see what we get. So we've got 4, so basically anything better than a minus 1 or above. What have we got? shroud. Oh, the shroudy one is actually -1, so that's fine. So that's 4, takes us to 3, and that means we can discard that one. Nice easy ride there for skids. And let's see what we get for Daisy. And Daisy is Rotten Remains. Test 3 willpower. For each point you fail, take 1 horror. Okay, well, Daisy's willpower is 3, so it's 3 against 3. What will she take? She will take horror. She's got 9 horror, so I think probably she got 9 sanity rather. So, is there anything we can do that's going to help us here? Discover 1 clue. Play image during that turn. Discover 1 clue at your location. No, I think we'll just have to go for nothing there, flashlight. Oh, hang on, yes. No, there's no point doing it. I was thinking we could do this one, but we haven't actually got any horror damage, so it'd be a waste. What that means, if we commit that to a test and pass, we heal 1 horror. But seeing as we haven't taken any damage, it's a little bit pointless. No. So it's willpower. I don't really want to use that for willpower now. There's nothing else I can use for willpower. So it's just straight 3 against 3. And let's hope we don't lose too much. So we test against 3. And we've got 3. Oops, hang on. One just popped out there. Let's try and let's take one from there. Okay, what we got? The skull. And we already know from the past plays, X is a number, -X, where X is the number of ghouls in play, and we have no ghouls in play at the moment. So we'll stick that there. Fairly uneventful mythos round, thank goodness. So let's move directly now to the investigator round. Now, what shall we do? What shall we do? What shall we do? Probably, we've got nowhere else we can move at the moment apart from these 2. We can go Redbrook, Eerie Forest. The rest is pointless because we've already got the clues, and we need another 4 clues. Okay, so basically we need to hoover up all these clues, and we can advance the act. So let's try and work on that. So first of all, well, the best person to do that, of course, will be Daisy, because she's got an investigator 5. So let's get straight on and do that. So, do you know what? So it's 5 against 3. I'll tell you what we'll do. We won't take any chances here. I'm thinking we'll play because we do. I'm just trying to think whether we should play any of these cards. No, let's try and get these clues hoovered up. So first of all, it's 5 against 3. So let's try that first. Let's see what we get. We've got a -1, so that's 4. The shroud value is 3, so we get that clue. When Daisy is actually this side, and I'll tell you what we'll do. We will play. It's a fast. We will play Working a Hunch, and we can discover an extra clue at that location also. So we'll play that. We'll get rid of the 2 resources, and we'll get our extra clue at this location. That gives us 3. That gives us 5 clues, and I think we will then. I think we may as well just go with Daisy again and try and get that last clue. So let's see, and if it fails, then we can always jump ahead there with skids. Okay, so what have we got? And we got a -1. So fairly lucky with the chaos bag today. So -1 from 5 gives us 4. We only need 3, so that is Daisy's turn finish. We've cleared all the clues that are on the board at the moment. I'll tell you what we haven't done. Okay, right. This is what I should have done before. Okay, I may have made a mistake here. For each clue successfully gained while in the Eris Forest, that investigator must test 2 agility. If you fail, choose one of the following: suffer 1 damage or discard 1 card from your hand. So for 1 damage or discard 1 from my hand. For each clue successfully gained whilst in. Right, so we've actually gained 3 clues there, and I forgot to do that. So we need to do that now. Nearly made a mistake there. Do you know what I'll do? Let's just double check. I think. Do you know what we'll do? We will assume we played this, which is mind over matter, which means until the end of the round you may use your knowledge in place of your fight and agility. So we'll play that now, retro play it, and we'll drop that into there. So that means we have to make 3, we have to beat agility 2 3 times. So let's just see if we can do that. So we're basically using our investigate instead of our agility. So we've got +1, so the first one we did. We've got a skull, so that's a pass because that's minus how many goals, and we just need to do it one more time, and another skull. So actually 3 times we actually did it perfect. So luckily, even though I made a mistake there, it didn't have any adverse effects. So we have lost, but we did play 2 cards. Okay, right. So that's the end of Daisy's turn, and we will immediately cash in our 1, 2, and the clues from here. So 6 clues we're cashing in there. Oh, sorry about the arm there. And we, blimey. Now let's flip over and see what we got. Following the trail through the forest, you enter a large, secluded clearing. In the centre stands a church surrounded by a number of crypts. The grounds here are well looked after and clean. But who would be looking after this holy place way out here? Place the church location into play. Shuffle the 3 crypt locations and put them into play. Okay, we can do that. So let's get that. So 1, 2. So there's the crypt. So we put the church into play. Let's go. So the church we'll put here. It's easy enough. Move our things out of the way. There. So we can travel to the church from either of these locations. So either Skids or Daisy can travel to the church. And we've got 3 crypt locations, which at the moment are all the same. So we'll just lay those out there. So try and get. I will sort these out next turn, so they're in a little bit of a better position. So okay. So from the church, so from these 2 locations, which is the river and the Eerie Forest, we can travel to the church. And from the church we can travel to any of these crypt locations, but from the crypts we can only travel back to the church. So that is the end of sorry, that's the end of Daisy's turn, but we've flipped over the act. So and we've done what it says there. So we'll discard that and we'll read Act 3. Okay, so this is looks like the end of the row for us if we finish this, because there's no clues to be found. Finding the entrance. The trail leads towards the crypts, but you can't make out which one it enters. From somewhere nearby, a ghostly and ungodly scream echoes through the forest. If you have not already, shuffle in the ghoul encounter set into the remaining encounter deck. We've done that. If you have, remove all ghouls from the discard pile and shuffle them into the remaining encounter deck. Well, we haven't found any ghouls yet, so there's nothing in. Remove all ghouls. Okay. Yep. Sorry, guys. I accidentally ran out of memory on the phone, so I've had to download. I'm not going to talk about it because by the time I've talked about and explained, then I'll have run out again and I'll be in the same position. So let's just move straight on. So I've laid out the crypt. We have to find basically the grate under one of these crypt cards. Daisy's finished, so we'll move immediately on to. We will move. Do we need to prepare for anything? I mean, we haven't really got any weapons or anything. Let's just crack on and try and find the crypt. The quicker we find it, the quicker we can get out of this hellhole. So, first action, move to there. Glade Church. I don't know if I read this before, but I'll read it again. The church stands in the middle of a secluded glade. Someone has been tending to the graves recently. And a quote from Lovecraft, which is from The Outsider, according to Carl. Or well, as Carl says, and I'm sure he's correct. Glade Church. So let's flip her over. No clues. Shroud value of 1. And Castle Hill Churchyard. Forced. Ghoul enemies will not enter the church. Leave them in the location they are attempting to move from. Forced. If a ghoul enemy would spawn here, spawn it at another empty location. Even though, it's a bit of flavor text, even though the church is in ruins, it looks like it would offer some respite from the horrors outside. Okay, so we'll place that there. We don't have to worry about any clues. There are no clues. So the first action for Skids is there. So second action, we don't know which one to pick. So let's go top to bottom. So we will move to the top one. Okay, so we move there. Let's see what we've got. Is this going to be the great crypt? Location. An old crypt stands in the grounds of the Glade Church. It looks as though someone has been tending it. Are we going to be lucky? We're not going to be lucky. This is, let's just move this. This is the sepulchre. Location, Castle Hill Churchyard. Revelation. Search the encounter cards and discard pile for a ghoul enemy, then spawn it here. If there are none left, then ignore this instruction. And we get a victory point for that. It was a ghoulish shade of decay, antiquity and dissolution. HP Lovecraft. Okay, so we're there. That's the second action. We need to now search the swarm of rats. I'm assuming it means find a ghoul, so we've got hunting ghoul here. So that will spawn at that location. I will shuffle these back up at the end of the turn. So what have we got? Hunting ghoul. This is the particular one that it's actually printed the scenario. It would be, wouldn't it? And it's got hit points equal to how many how many investigators. So it's got 8 hit points. Okay. And it gets 1 victory point. The hunting ghoul can enter the Glade Church. It takes 1 damage each time it does. And it's a hunter. Okay, well this will engage with the threat area for Skids. So we'll place that there in the threat area. Okay, well, Skids. What's his chances of evading that? The best thing he could do probably there is evade that and go back to the church. So there's no point. If he okay, let's just yeah. I think he'll use his third action will be an attempt to evade. This will give on the next turn. This will give Daisy a chance to try and find the grate. So, is there anything we can use here? No, nothing we can really use to assist us. It's just basically, is it worth fighting? Not really, because it's going to lose health for no reason. So I think rather than try and fight this ghoul, we'll just try and evade. So Skids has got an evade of 3. We can always take an additional action if we need to. In fact, we might do that anyway, actually. Okay, so it's 3 against, and that is a -1, which is good enough, I think. So we've got 4 agility against 3 plus, or rather, a -1 gives us 3 against 3. That exhausts, so we evade that ghoul, exhausted, and I think then Skids will spend 2. He will spend 2 resources, and he will take an additional move, which of course will move him back to the church. Okay, that's the end of the investigator's turn. So the next stage of that, the next stage of the round will be the enemy turn. There are no enemies that can act. The only one that's the hunting ghoul, which he can't do anything because he's exhausted. So we'll move on to reset. So we'll reset the ghoul. This ghoul will reset now, but he'll stay in this location, although he will during the next turn move into the church, but take 1 damage, as you remember. I didn't unset Daisy and what's his name? Skids. I didn't unset Daisy and Skids, so they're ready to go. So now we take 1. We'll take 1 resource each, and we'll draw a card each. So, oh, good, okay. So we've got the Switchblade for Skids. That's handy. We need to get that into play as soon as possible. And we've got a Shriveling spell, which is 4 charges. It takes us 3 resources, which we do have, to get into play. But that is going to be good. Spend 1 charge, fight. This attack uses willpower instead of fight and deals +1 damage. Okay, and then we take a horror if we basically pull a skull, a shrouded man, or a tablet. Good. So let's drop that into there. We'll get those into play next turn. I don't think let's just have a quick look now. So the ghoul is here, ready to move on his next turn. We are church for Skids, Eerie Forest still for Daisy. We've got nothing else in play that we need to take care of. I think we're all sorted from there. And that is it. Okay, so I'll catch you for round 5. Thanks a lot, Stormers. Bye for now.